Hello everyone, what is happening? I'm your host Ayman Hasan and welcome back to another video here at Most Amazing Top 10. So apparently you guys really enjoy hearing messed up things about Chuck E. Cheese, which is fair enough, I mean, I get it. I enjoy telling the stories as well and giving myself more reasons to never go there. If you thought the last video was bad, then you guys have to really gear yourselves up for this one. As always guys, remember to subscribe to Top 10 and go check out our new channel Top 10 Beyond the Screen for more Hollywood related content if that's what you're into, and I guarantee you are probably into it. But without any more babbling, this is the top 10 scary Chuck E. Cheese stories. Starting us off with number 10 are the crawl tunnels. Crawl tunnels are fun and all, but I feel like whenever I used to crawl through them, there just came a point I felt super claustrophobic and I was just like, I need to get out right now. But anyway, back in 2014, Robert Dustin Weber was visiting a Chuck E. Cheese in Englewood with his mother and 2-year-old daughter. In the indoor playground area, his daughter became friends with another 3-year-old and they started playing in the crawl tunnels, and Weber entered the tunnels with them, staying in there for 3 to 6 minutes at a time. Already sus, why would a grown man who can barely fit in the crawl tunnel stay there for 6 minutes? When they left, the girl told her father that Weber had performed sexual acts on her, and he called the police, to which he found out that Weber was a registered sex offender with a history of similar behavior. When an officer finally asked him whether he had done it or not, he simply responded by saying, "I don't think I should talk about that." He's since been sentenced to 18 years to life in prison, and it still blows my mind how this happened under everyone's nose right inside the crawl tunnels. I mean, who would have thought? Coming in at number 9 is the tire that flew through the window, which sounds like the title of a very weird children's book I feel, but it's not. But anyway, this one happened in Merrillville, Indiana back in 2015. A 63-year-old woman was driving westbound on the US 30 when she veered off the road to the right. She drove into a ditch, then hit a telephone pole and then hit a parked car head on in the parking lot of Chuck E. Cheese. I don't know how, but then she apparently hit another car, pushing that one into another car. The tire from her car flew off and went straight through the window of the restaurant and hit 3 children sitting inside. Like, it sounds like this woman was on a rampage, even though I know it probably wasn't intentional, but like, what the hell. One 12-year-old had wounds on his head and left arm, a 5-year-old had wounds on both arms, and another 8-year-old boy's forehead was also injured. The woman herself was unharmed, and it was later found that there was actually a medical issue that led to the crashes to begin with. I shouldn't find this funny, and I don't, but the scenario just sounds like a made-up cartoon. Like, all the events that led up to the tire flying through the window, I'm lost for words. At number 8 we have The Wrong Kid. This one's pretty short and sweet, and I'm guessing you guys will probably know what the story is going to be about from the title. In January of 2016, a man was leaving a Chuck E. Cheese in Hamilton with his child. He got about 4 to 5 steps away from the restaurant when he realized he'd picked up the wrong child. He rushed back and got his rightful child, but this is just jokes. Like, do you not look at the kid before you're picking them up? It was escalated slightly when a potential kidnapping was suspected, but it was quickly dismissed and confirmed that no children were ever in danger. It was just a dad brain fart. Filling our number 7 slot is the skee ball fight. It was only about time that this video was going to take a ratchet turn and talk about a fight that could have ended up on worldstar.com, and here it is. This one happened in New Jersey in December 2015. A woman and her 2-year-old son were standing near the skee ball machines when another woman started playing skee ball and pushed the boy. The mother, obviously triggered, confronted the woman. The words were said, the mum pushed the other woman, who actually fell on her back onto the machine. She got up and the two started fighting until an employee and a family member broke it up. The one who fell told the police a completely different story I'm telling you right now. She said she was playing skee ball with her own son when the other woman's boy came over and tried to steal her son's skee balls, and she denied ever pushing him. She said when the boy came over for a 3rd time, that's when she pulled her own son towards her. The mother who actually started the fight had a $500 outstanding warrant against her, and she was later arrested and charged with simple assault. I mean, when a mama bear's claws come out, they really come out. Now at number 6 is Helen. This one is actually a story from an ex-employee from the esteemed establishment, so thank you Anon for that. She claims the best story from her time working there was about one customer who had fully lost touch with reality and fallen in love with Helen. And I mean, that would be all well and good, except Helen is one of the animatronics in Chucky's band, hence not a real person. The customer even bought Helen an engagement ring and was soon after banned from that restaurant, which is no real surprise. If anything, anything, I feel bad that he wasn't able to get closure with Helen before he was banned. I mean, delusional or not, he still deserves that. Coming in at number 5 is the bathroom. I honestly hate using bathrooms at busy restaurants, especially if it's a kids restaurant, because 11 out of 10 times the bathroom will be absolutely filthy and my legs will give out from the amount of squatting I have to do just to pee. But anyway, the bathroom is not just the place for your bowels, it's also the place to do drugs, apparently. 5 years ago in Costa Mesa, California, Colin Zabrowski and Daniel Luback were arrested after police witnessed the pair inside a bathroom store at Chuck E. Cheese. A customer complained that they suspected the duo were getting high in the bathrooms and they were indeed observed smoking heroin. Funnily enough, they actually went to Chuck E. Cheese to meet their drug supplier because apparently a family-centered restaurant is the best place to do that. Daniel and Colin were arrested, but both were subsequently released later either on bail or on promise to appear in court. Check the bathrooms when you go to Chuck E. Cheese, just please do that for me, please do that. At number 4 is Dead Chucky. This one's another story submission from an ex-employee and I'm honestly just loving these. So this employee comes into work one day and was asked to go wake up Chucky for a birthday party, and that basically meant they would have to go and put on the suit, dance and take some pictures. So the hardworking employee goes and puts on the suit, they do the dance and the kids line up for the pictures. Everything is rainbows and butterflies, I know, but the problem was that the employee had a really bad cold and the inside of the Chucky suit, as you can imagine, is so hot that they ended up fainting mid-picture and collapsing to the floor. When the employee finally regained consciousness, all the kids were screaming and crying hysterically that Chucky's dead. The employee had to be dragged by the shoulders out of the room and they ended up ruining 3 birthday parties that day. Honestly, if that was me, I wouldn't care about ruining the parties. I would be like, you should have gotten an employee that wasn't sick to be in the suit. Like, how is this the employee's fault? It's not, let's face it. Filling our number 3 slot is the Knife Wielder. I wish I was talking about a fantasy book or movie with this one, but it was 100% more a nightmare than it was a fantasy. The setting is 2015, New Jersey, around 7 p.m. James Burgess, a retired Bergen County Sheriff officer, was going to the Chuck E. Cheese when he saw a man stumbling outside the restaurant. The man, later found to be Anthony Campagna, was holding an 8-inch knife. Burgess confronted Anthony after he entered and told him he couldn't bring a weapon inside. Then a brawl ensued and it took Burgess along with a few other patrons struggling with Campagna to finally gain control of the knife. Burgess ended up getting injured on his right hand and Anthony was taken to Wayne Police Headquarters and charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and had a $25,000 bail. His intentions were unclear according to employees, but it was a good thing Burgess was there, otherwise who knows what could have happened. Now at number 2 is the Purse Snatcher. This one made me laugh because the kids obviously had no idea what they were doing. They probably just thought they were just playing a game, but little did they know. In Olympia, Washington, a 34-year-old man named Charles was using children to steal purses inside Chuck E. Cheese. I know, I was shook too. A slew of purses had been reported missing in the restaurant over a course of a few months, and victims said that cards were being used in Thurston and Pierce counties. After reviewing some surveillance footage, investigators found a man directing 2 young kids to steal unattended bags and bring them to him in the bathroom. A few days later, the man came into the restaurant with 3 more kids, all under the age of 10. Police was called, but the man and his kids disappeared before they got there. Thankfully, employees managed to see which car the man left in, and the police later found the car and arrested Charles for a plethora of reasons. But wow, I mean, you gotta hand it to him, that's innovative, using the kids to bring him the purses. I mean, fair enough, I don't condone it, but it is smart. And finally, at number 1 is the parking spot. This one was so outlandish, I literally thought it was just a false story. But it's 100% true, and honestly, parking spots cause fights all the time. In the car with your significant other when you miss one and you're both hangry, with strangers when you're both trying to go for the same one. All in all, parking spots just end relationships, let's just leave it at that. So what even happened? In LA back in 2011, 27-year-old Robert Herrera gunned down 29-year-old Daniel Villanueva because of quote-unquote beef over a parking space outside Chuck E. Cheese. I mean, I know sometimes you're desperate for a parking spot or you're in a rush, but it's literally never a logical reason to ever shoot someone multiple times over a parking space. Literally ever. Herrera and his sister actually drove away from the scene and she ended up getting arrested later on after a TV viewer recognized her from composite drawings they had seen of the two. Robert was still sought after for previous arrest warrants as well as this new arrest warrant for murder. And guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed your second dose of Chuck E. Cheese monstrosities. This one was definitely one for the books. I didn't think this amount of shit could happen in any establishment ever, so that in and of itself has blown my mind. Let me know in the comments below about which one shocked you the most and whether you actually knew about any of these cases before this video. I'm your host Ayman Hasan, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!